Well, welcome back. Well, the fallen FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried agreed to extradition from the Bahamas to the United States, where he will face fraud and conspiracy charges. He's expected to appear in court today. The Department of Justice charged SBF with defrauding investors out of $1.8 billion. Leo, your reaction?
Well, unfortunately, this is what happens in a bubble, and this is a catastrophic event on steroids. Crypto along the way, while it may have a utility in the economy going forward, we reached just insane pricing. And when we get to a point where an asset is being priced based on its prior price, you're starting to subject yourself to this kind of outcome. Now, this one happens to be an example of a perfect storm. You have highly speculative investors throwing money at an asset, hoping to get rich quick. You have an unregulated industry, and then you had a media that fell in love with this young superstar that they thought was going to be the next coming. Really a sad story for those investors who lost money, and I think we're just scratching the surface of what we're going to find out about how bad this actually was.
Yeah, and here's a news flash, Dagan. The top 3 Democrat Party campaign groups are preparing to return over $1.1 million in donations received from SBF. The DNC sets aside over $800,000 in light of, quote, potential campaign finance violations, Dagan.
That's a million with an M. We should point that out. 1.1 million so far. They're just beginning to step up because, as Andy McCarthy pointed out last week, there's a forfeiture provision in the federal indictment. And certainly the bankruptcy trustee overseeing FTX will begin trying to claw back money to make those who were stolen from whole. But I just want to point this out. Kim Strassel in the Wall Street Journal has this incredible piece from last Friday. Sam Bankman-Fried dumped close to $40 million into political action committees. Individuals associated with FTX and its affiliates contributed some $70 million, and so that also being stolen money, likely, so criminally tainted $70 million. And if you look at so 50 Democrat House and Senate candidates and 8 Republicans, and several of them have announced that they'll direct their donations that they got from Sam Bankman-Fried to charity. So they're not going to give the money back. They're just going to direct those donations to charitable organizations. But giving those donations to leftist charitable organizations, how is that going to make customers whole? Well, it doesn't. But
yes,
again, the prosecutors, the government, the bankruptcy trustee, they will try to get that money back. So these politicians, largely Democrat politicians, ought to start thinking about doing the right thing, or they will be embarrassed publicly, as they should be.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Joe Biden's bad policy.